Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel and I'm Jasmine. So recently I watched this video from my favorite booktuber, which is Jack Edwards, and he did this challenge which is to read the highest rating book and the lowest rating book on his TBR, and I just thought that it looked so fun. So I wanted to try it on myself, and we have my laptop here and my Goodreads account to see which books actually on the list. I usually just add all my TBR on my Goodreads account once I bought them. Alright, so let's have a look at my shelf. So the third book on my lowest rating is There's No Such Thing as an Easy Job. I actually kind of expect it because when I first got it, I saw a lot of mixed review on my Bookstagram account. So yeah, the second place is The Woman in the Purple Skirt, which was kind of surprising because I know that a lot of people don't really like it either, but the rating was much different than the third place, which is 3.39. So, and the first place is actually The Fat Years, and I kind of expect it because when I got it, I know that a lot of people don't like it, but my friend Sunny from Vans Reads really love it. So I think why not just get it, because I found it at a book fair with a very cheap price. So I really need to read The Fat Years, and let's have a look at my highest rating books. Oh, alright. And my third place for the highest rating book is actually A Long Paddle of the Sea. This book is on my TBR for a really long time, since last November. And it was actually given by my friend, and I still haven't read it yet, so I need to read it as soon as possible. And the second place is also really surprising because it is The Morning They Came for Us, which is a non-fiction about war and history. I never expect a non-fiction to be this high because usually like non-fiction have a lot of mixed review. Alright, so the first place is actually And Softly Go the Crossing, which is a short stories collection written by a Singaporean author. And this book actually only have 12 ratings, but I'm still gonna read it because I know that a lot of my friends that have read it really love it, and also a few Singaporean bookstagrammers that have read it also praise this book, so I'm just gonna read it. So these are the two books that I'll be reading, and see you in the next few days. Hi everyone, so I'm back after finishing this book, And Softly Go the Crossing, which is the highest rated book on my shelf, and I really have to agree with the ratings. It's definitely one of the best books that I've read so far this year. Even though there's only 13 of you that have read it, this book is just so good and so underrated. In short, this is basically a short story collection that focuses on the modern life of Singaporean and the competitive nature in the country. I felt like this is a book that a lot of us resonate with, despite being an Asian or even just living anywhere globally, because the world is definitely getting more and more competitive, and getting more and more fast-paced, and we just felt like we are always losing out. So we just keep on working hard since we were young, and it just explore about what does this actually mean to us in life. Is it that important to work for our status? And it emphasized the importance of family, the beauty of love, and just having time with your loved ones. There are just so many parts that make me want to cry because of how true it is that we are just so easily forgetting about the important people in our life because we're so busy focusing in our own career or in any responsibility we have. So the writing of the book is just so beautiful, and I'm gonna read one of my favorite quotes from the book. It's curious, this thing called life. We spend the first half of it learning how to build it up: job, family, friends, health, teeth, and then spend the second half of it learning how to lose what we have built up. You guys really need to read it. So underrated, so good. Alright. it's been a few days and I decided to DNF the Fat Years, which is the lowest rating on my shelf. I actually just left the last chapter, which is the epilogue, and it's almost 80 pages long, and I couldn't bring myself to finish the 80 pages of the book because of how dry the book is. In short, this book is about a man called Old Chen, which is translated from Lao Chen in Chinese, which means an old man with a surname of Chen. And so he's a writer, and he's having a writer's block for many years. And the reason of his writer's block is that he felt like there is a man in China history that is removed from all platforms, and he wanted to know about the truth. And the missing man is basically the man of the Tiananmen protest, where a lot of students are injured and killed. So he wanted to know about the truth, and we followed him travel around China to find the truth. The problem I have with this book is that there isn't really a plot. Like, even though we are following Lao Chen from one city to another city, meeting a lot of people, so whenever he meet a new people, the author will try to throw in a lot of information in it, and I felt like it really disrupt the flow, and I can't really remember what's happening except there's a lot of info dumping inside the book. That's how I felt. And also, this book is actually blurbed as China 1984, and I have to agree on that point because this book just felt really stagnant. Nothing much is happening, and I personally struggle a lot with this kind of story. I don't know why. I just felt really boring. The same problem that I have with 1984, which I also DNF. I DNF that at page 50, which is even worse than this. At least I get through 200 plus pages for this book. But I felt like fans of 1984 would definitely love this book because they have the same tone and the same word, the way he described how a communist government or powerful government is trying to control society. I felt like this book just very dry, nothing much happened, and it reads like a Wikipedia. It didn't read like a novel at all. So that's why I am DNFing this, unfortunately. So alright, so this is the wrap up for my experiment for reading the highest rating book on my shelf, which is And Softly Go the Crossing, and the lowest rating, which is The Fat Years. And I have to fully agree with the rating. I really love this. This is definitely one of my favorite reads so far this year, and unfortunately I DNF this. So do let me know about your thoughts on ratings, like on Goodreads or on Storygraph or any platform. Do you guys follow closely with ratings? I have to say that most of the time it's pretty accurate for me. There are a few exceptions, like Did God by Manjin, which have really low rating, and I really enjoyed it. But I would say most of the time it's pretty accurate for me. Do let me know about your thoughts, because I know quite a few people that tend to avoid looking at ratings. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!